Hey everybody, welcome back to Off the Wall. I'm Mike. This video is just going to be just me because I have some things that I need to cover that mostly affect me directly, but affect the channel as a whole. And it has to do with the SAG and Writers Guild strike. So I want to get a few things out of the way first. So first of all, none of us involved here on the channel are members of either union. None of us are SAG or WGA. And of the three of us, the only one who has any desire to be a member of either union is myself. For those who don't know, I've been doing stand up for almost 20 years. I've written and appeared in independent films here and there. I'm being a member of these unions is something that's definitely a long-term career goal of mine. Bogz and Soul not so much. So I want to preface that real quick. And none of us are exactly knowledgeable about anything going on with the unions per se. We've been outspoken since the beginning that we're in support of the WGA and SAG in this strike. Hashtag pay your writers, hashtag pay your actors. And we have made an attempt in every video that we've done to vocalize that support. And up until now, we believed that we were behaving within the the spirit of the strike. We've tried to be as pro strike with our content as possible. It has come to my attention through my own research that we may have failed in that regard. Up until today, that when I'm recording this on Tuesday, August 22nd, we believe we were covered. In doing further research, as we planned for what to do going forward, there was some vagueness and some gray area with some of the language as far as the information from SAG specifically for what is and is not allowed for content as far as being pro strike, pro SAG. And for those who also don't know, I mean, SAG has been outspoken and said anybody in violation of these terms, should they ever wish to join SAG again, if anything comes up basically in their check, you could miss out on membership. I'd like to join someday. So, the language itself that is a little vague and fuzzy is the part that deals with pre-existing contracts. Now, I've reached out to a SAG representative, specifically the one dealing with podcasts and reactors and influencers, which is what this is here. As well as, for those who don't know, my other show, We Are the Batman, which I host with Matthew Hasso, is an audio-only podcast we do every week about DC and Batman stuff. Pre-existing contract, by my interpretation, means anything that audience members have already paid for as it is with your content, meaning signing up for a Patreon, watching your videos and you taking in cuts of ad content, things like that. Stuff that's already been essentially paid for by a customer or a viewer of some kind that you are now delivering on that contract. That stuff is allowed with certain restrictions. The problem we run into is that Off the Wall does not have a Patreon, nor are we a member of the YouTube partnership program. We do not receive any income whatsoever, no revenue whatsoever from any of the videos we post at all. Not a dime. We have spent money. We have made exactly $0. $0 has come to us in the little over a year we've been doing this channel. That puts us in a strange predicament where, because we don't have these pre-existing contracts with things like Patreon or some other crowdsourcing, whether it's Buy Me a Coffee or Kickstarter or whatever, even the blue and white spicy site, none of that. Because none of that's been like prepaid for, basically, we are under no obligation to put out that content, and therefore we are not protected by SAG's guidelines in their FAQ, which you can find a link to in the description of this video. It's not super clear what that means. There's different ways to interpret it. My interpretation of everything I have read on this page suggests that, oh crap, we haven't been as strike friendly with our content as we thought we were being. And that especially affects me in the long run. We had full plans for all of us to get together and record our review for Blue Beetle, as well as to do something. We had something in mind, something special to do with Ahsoka coming out. Now that's all been kind of called into question and put into jeopardy, at least as far as my involvement goes. Now, again, like I said, Soul and Bogz have no desire to join the unions. I would like to someday. And so, for all of these reasons and that reason as well, I'm going to be stepping away from Off the Wall for the time being. Um, our content is focused almost entirely on reacting and reviewing new content from big studios that are currently being struck. That is not in support of the heart of the strike. Best intentions in the world, but to me, we wouldn't be keeping in with the spirit of the strike. And so, since I stand to lose the most, to be affected the most by this in the grand scheme of things. And so for that reason, yeah, I'm going to be stepping away from Off the Wall for a little while, because I don't feel comfortable until I get some kind of until I hear back from the SAG people and they can give me some clear-cut guidelines as to what is and is not okay. I will not be present on videos for Off the Wall for the foreseeable future, either until the strike ends or until I get some information about what we can be involved with. Soul and Bogz have thrown around some ideas about how I can still be involved in ways. I do a lot of the editing for this channel. Bogz and Soul have both taken over a lot of it for smaller videos for me, but like any reactions we've done, I've edited. Some of the bigger trailer reactions I've edited. I tend to run a lot of our whenever we would do live streams for Secret Invasion, or like we were planning on doing for Ahsoka. Those I usually ran those through our StreamYard account and produced those myself. I'm in the interest of just kind of clean hands, as I hit my microphone. In the interest of clean hands, I'm gonna kind of just step away from everything. Soul and I has started watching Harley Quinn season 4. We recorded one reaction to it. I have not had time to finish editing it, unfortunately, because as I mentioned, I do stand up. I've had a very busy summer. I have not had a lot of time to myself to work on editing those. I'm also having some health issues because I do all kinds of editing for this channel, as well as for We Are the Batman, as well as for my own comedy career. And for my day job. I have a day job with a television station producing digital content and social media content. So I use a computer a lot of the time. As a result, I'm not wearing it now, but I've had to start wearing a special glove and brace for my arm because I've developed severe carpal tunnel in my right hand. So in the interest of my own well-being and just kind of well-being in general, I'm stepping away from Off the Wall. Soul and Bogz are going to continue to produce content for you guys. My role is going to be as minimal as possible, if anything at all. I think it might just behoove everyone if I just step away altogether and reevaluate things when we hear back from SAG, or if the strike ends, whichever one comes first. I'm not holding my breath for either one. But we wanted to make that clear to you guys. We put out some tweets and some posts earlier today letting you guys know we were revisiting things, and that's what this was about. I had hoped to hear back from SAG by now. I have not heard back from them. And with us, set to record our Blue Beetle review, and with Ahsoka starting tonight, we talked and we felt it would be best if I just went ahead and put out a statement here on YouTube in my own words, explaining everything as clearly as I possibly can. I'm not reading off a script. I'm winging this. This is all straight from the heart, straight off the dome. Off the Wall is a little over a year old. We are fledglings in the review and reactor channel game on YouTube. We are well aware of that. We're nowhere near qualifying for the YouTube Partner Program, and we don't have the uh, content library and really availability to have a Patreon at the moment. So it kind of puts us in a weird gray area. What Bogz and Soul are going to end up doing after this, I honestly don't know. It's whatever they decide they want to do, how they want to approach doing our videos going forward. They have all the same information I do, so they're going to figure out how they want to do things. We felt it was probably best if I just step away for a while until we know for sure what is in the clear, what we can and can't get away with, and what would be okay for me. Just as a side note, if you do listen to We Are the Batman, which is the show I do with Matthew Hasso, we put up a thing today, and I'll be putting something up again later this week. We are changing our content for that show for the time being as well, pausing our Blue Beetle review, pausing our Batman breakdowns, focusing our content on animation and comic books for the time being. My comedy stuff and the stuff with the 3 mics won't be affected at all. That's all completely, it's not review or reaction content. It's just comedy nonsense. So that stuff's staying the same. So if you guys have not already, please follow me on social media at Mr. Mike Shea. I am on Twitter. I am on Threads, Instagram, Facebook. I'm on all the socials at Mr. Mike Shea. My own YouTube channel is here as well. You can find me on TikTok. I'm on all the social medias because I do social media for a living for my job. So I'm pretty plugged into social media stuff. I do have my own Patreon, but that's not why I'm here. So if you guys feel inclined, go nuts. But what I'm here to tell you guys is, support the strike, support the unions in any way that you can. If we have done anything to anger or upset anyone in the unions or the who's pro union up to this point, if our content came across as scabby or picket crossing or just in violation of the spirit of the strike, please understand we had no intention of doing that. We have since day one been very outspoken about our support for the WGA and for SAG, and so as soon as this information hit me this morning of like, hey, this stuff we thought was good might actually not be good, I immediately reached out to Soul and Bogz, and I said, hey guys, something doesn't feel right, something doesn't smell right, and until I'm comfortable, until I know for sure we're in the clear, I don't feel comfortable doing stuff for the channel until I can be sure that we're okay and that I'm okay. I have to look out for the channel and for myself here. So this has been 15 minutes of me rambling on and on about basically why I'm stepping away from Off the Wall for the foreseeable future until we have a better idea of what we can do and a better foundation of how we're going to approach it. Please support the WGA and SAG in any way that you can, whether it's striking and joining pickets, whether it's donating, whatever the case may be. Even if it's just coming out and just vocalizing support, please do that. And please be patient with Bogz and Soul as they figure out what they're going to do going forward while I step back. And obviously anything, as soon as we know anything, you guys will know. So if we get an all clear to go ahead with how we want to do things based on what SAG says, we'll let you know. But until then, thank you guys for your patience. Thank you for your understanding. And thank you for listening to me ramble for 15 minutes about why I need to step away. Thank you guys so much. As always, for those of you who are subscribed to our channel, thank you for doing so. If you're new here, please subscribe, because when the strikes are not going on, we put out some really fun videos. We have a lot of fun here. We're 3 friends that like making these videos. Our reactions and reviews, we always have a blast making those. So thank you for subbing if you have. If you have not, please consider doing so. Follow me on all the social medias, and hopefully it won't be too long before I see you guys again here on Off the Wall.